Good morning, members. It is 9:15 on Friday, September 18th. We are seeing quite the pullback. We had the very bearish reversal candlestick form on the daily chart yesterday for SPY with the very long upper wick showing lots of profit taking. And today we're having a big old gap down follow through. So everything we were looking at yesterday is certainly bearish here in the morning. Leading the charge, we had PCLN and UA both highlighted on the watch list last night because they were both pulling back from the upper Bollinger Band resistance on the daily and weekly chart. So those were some that were a little overextended and should see some more downside here this morning. We will be watching the key level of the daily chart, the middle Bollinger Band for SPY, which will open this morning right at about 196, maybe a couple points above it, a couple pennies that is. And after that, we are looking down on the weekly chart at the 100-week moving average support of 194.09. That is a must-hold level. And on the daily chart, 194.09 also puts us at our previous higher low, the fourth higher low in the bounce since the market crash. Let me flip over there and I can point it out to you really quick. So here's the market crash. That's the first low. Bounce up. Second low is this candlestick. Third low is this little doji, and the fourth low is right here, the 194 level that I am talking about. And on the weekly chart, you can see the 100-week moving average support is right there. So this is definitely going to be a very bearish day. We'll see what kind of recovery there is. I would anticipate perhaps another little flush in the morning and then a recovery. But any recovery, any bullish play that we are playing, we are obviously going to try and set our stop losses at break even and ideally time the bullish reversal if there is one, but making sure we're safe because we are bucking the trend right now. The trend is definitely bearish to start the day. So let's look at a couple individual stocks. PCLN and UA, as I pointed out, not much volume there, but both of them down significantly. Everything that we're going to look at here, pretty much everything is going to be down significantly, and everything we are going to be watching the 20-period moving average resistance. As you can see, let's check in SPY really quickly. It has been driving the price down the entire morning. Tried to get above it just now and seeing now more further downside. With 13 minutes left to go here, we're seeing the flush right now. The RSI is down at 24, so we're going to watch where the RSI is first thing and potentially shop bullish within the first 15 minutes. I know that might be a little scary in the downside of all in the face of all of this red, but this is certainly an overextended move here, and we are going to see a little bit of recovery. But to see if we're going to have any sustained bullish uptrend, it's going to have to be above this 20-period moving average, and that is what we're going to be looking at on all stocks. So GoPro, same thing, 35.76 currently. We had a low pre-market. That's resistance, by the way, 20-period 35.76. The low of the pre-market was 35.51, so we're going to come down and see if we can hold that support and continue on upward. TTPH is not seeing a whole lot of pullback. The bid and ask is a very wide spread, but there's definitely some upside here potentially. We're going to be watching for the 1080 break. We have the 100-period moving average support of 1049, and 1071 is a 20-period resistance. Not a whole lot of volume there this morning, so we'll see where it opens. Netflix, we're going to look at $100 psychological support if it drops down that far. We have the bouncing of lower lows, lower highs, rejections from 20-period moving average support or resistance, want to turn that into support, and that will be the start of the uptrend if we do see one today. And again, I do expect one. This is overextended. We are now down over $4 from the close yesterday, and from the high yesterday, 202.89, we are certainly down a whole lot, almost or more than $7 here. So getting overextended to the downside, going to see a bounce, and we're going to try and time that bounce. So let's look at what else we're looking at here. Facebook. All these charts are going to look the same. Facebook has 200-period moving average resistance as one of its key hurdles, but again, it's about the 20-period moving average resistance first. Coming down to $93, we'll see if it tests $93 support. Apple. Same thing, 20-period, setting lower lows, looking for some kind of bounce. RSI is at 31. Tesla, we're going to be looking at the 20-period moving average resistance. The low pre-market was back here at 258.20. We are currently at that level. We'll see if it's going to be a double bottom or not. And we have the 20-period moving average resistance of 258.62. All of these RSIs are down right around 30, 35, so definitely going to start the day in an oversold territory. BABA. Same thing, 20-period moving average and setting lower lows here. No volume pre-market really for Taser. TASR. Let's see what the daily chart is looking like. We've got 9 minutes until the open and SPY keeps dropping. 10-day moving average support for Taser is 23.88 and a close above, let's see here, close above 24.50 is going to signal some more upside potentially to the 50-day moving average resistance of 26.40. REGN. Not a whole lot of pre-market volume there. Looking at the daily chart, we've got the upper Bollinger Band resistance of 559.40. We got the 50-day moving average support of, well, now it's resistance, 545.66. 10-day moving average support of 530.79. So we're watching 530.79 here on a pullback, but there's a lot of room for downside after we are below the 50-day moving average for our REGN. I will look at your other ones then if I get time. SVXY. Downtrend, we're watching the 20-period moving average to get over it. Had a big old bearish doji form yesterday, and that was a huge signal that there was more downside coming, and we are currently going to open below the middle Bollinger Band resistance of 53.52, and the 10-day moving average support is 50.39. So a very big score there for the shorts, down $6 here pre-market for SVXY, which is the short-term futures for SPY. So it all makes sense. UGAZ is below essential support of $8. Definitely a bearish development in the chart. We'll see how it reacts on a back test, but DGAZ is definitely the winner today. SVXY, the daily chart, I believe I talked about. We got the 10-day moving average support of 50.39. TTPH, very wide bid and ask. We're going to see what the open is. Resistance is 1080. And we'll watch that one closely. Not much information here pre-market. They did Baba. Sunni, we got a bottom down here at 1123, and it held that 2 more times. So 1123 is key support. Resistance is 1144, 1146, and 1151. So a resistance band in the mid-11s. We'll see if we can bust through that. And I expect it to trade hand in hand with SPY here. We're going to open in 6 minutes. Baba, same thing. We're just looking at the 20-period moving average resistance of 65.26. Need to turn it into support. Looking at the daily chart. We have the 10-day moving average support of 64.45 for Baba. Netflix needs to turn the 20-period moving average resistance into support. 102 is currently that level. We have 100 psychological support. All of these stocks, it's going to be all about the 20-period moving average. As soon as they can turn that into support, they can start working on recovering some of these losses. PCLN now, the ask is $1,300. That is a $18 drop here And we'll be watching that resistance level. 1300 is resistance. LNCO. No pre-market action. We have the 100 period moving average support of 295 at the close yesterday. Looking at the daily chart. A bearish reversal doji formed yesterday, and we have support at 277, the 10-day moving average. But that doji at the top of a little uptrend there, hitting resistance of $3, which it has hit in late August, early September, cannot close above it. As soon as it does close above it, that will be a bullish sign for LNCO. So SPY had a little bounce here. Let's see if it was able. I'm sure it was tested and rejected the 20 period moving average. Not even there. It's a ways off. 196.28. We've got 4 minutes until the open here. Forward, no pre-market action, 100 period moving average resistance of 157. Middle Bollinger Band of 154 is support, which held at the close yesterday. A nice little doji there. 10-day moving average resistance of 158, which is lining up with 157 here on the 100 period moving average resistance. And a close over 180 would signal more upside to come. Key is to maintain that middle Bollinger Band support, which is held on this little uptrend here. So this morning we're going to watch the 20 period moving average first thing. Perhaps that resistance would be a place to enter more shorts for some more downside. RSI for SPY just bounced off of 21 and has touched oversold many times this morning as it keeps dropping down and then recovering a bit, cooling off the RSI and then dropping down a little bit again. We're watching the MACD here on the 5-minute coming up for a bullish cross, but it's all about the 20 period moving average resistance. And we're also going to be looking at the little highs here. We had a high of 196.80. A break of that would be bullish. And we're going to be very cautious here. It is going to be a volatile day with opportunity to profit. We just need to decide which direction it is going to be in. We'll see what the middle Bollinger Band opens up at on the daily chart. It should be right above 196. Volume is already 11 million this morning. Let's see, SPY's volume yesterday was obviously huge due to the Fed. 2 days ago, we were at 100 million on the day, so already over 10% of 2 days ago total volume pre-market. So definitely going to see that volatility here. About to open up. 196.29 is the target we are watching. And support, the low of the pre-market session is 195.25. And there's a whole lot of red on the screen. TTPH 1075 is the ask. We're going to be watching for 1080 to break. SUNY, we're going to be watching $11 support. So here is SPY trying to break the 20 period moving average resistance. A break of 196.80 would be a higher high over this little high at 8:55 a.m. SUNY should follow SPY fairly closely here. 1141 is resistance on SUNY. It's going to be all about SPY this morning. So SPY is currently above that resistance level. Alright, chicken, chill. Right outside my window. So the 20 period moving average is 196.27. Currently hovering around that level. We did have the bullish MACD cross. Now we just need to see if this level is going to sustain. Here's 1123 support falling for SUNY. So SUNY is not trading with SPY. Look at that huge drop. SUNY just dropped 9 cents in a second as SPY is continuing to go up. So that is worth noting. A divergence in the action of SUNY and SPY. So we'll see where this candlestick closes, and we'll see if we get a back test for SPY on this support, and then a break of 196.80 would be bullish. 1106 is the low on SUNY. Wild volatile swings there, so be careful. Let's see what the daily chart looks like now for SUNY with the updated moving averages. Ten-day moving average resistance 1155, and the middle Bollinger Band is 1096. Looking at the SPY daily chart, the middle Bollinger Band has updated, and it is at 195.80. So a nice doji right now. Obviously, it's extremely early, but a big gap down doji on SPY holding that middle Bollinger Band support. We got the 10-day moving average resistance of 196.82. Need to see a break of 196.80, so that is aligning with the target we are watching. Nice little bullish bounce here to start as we were overextended with the pre-market drop. Now we're just looking to see if it can hold, if this is just a first 5-minute candle little fluke and we're going to continue down, or if this has some bullish momentum behind it. With such a big gap down and middle Bollinger Band support, I'm thinking we might see some entry into some bullish plays to ride out through the morning here. Still a little too early to say though. Netflix hitting its low of day. SUNY, a really nice bounce from that 1106 low, testing the high of day now. 1155 is resistance there. TTPH coming up to test 1080. There's a break of 1080 for TTPH, so 1097 is the next resistance. Not a convincing break there. Want to see 1080 as some nice support. SPY is pulling back a little bit now. The candle is about to form. We have the 20 period at 196.27. Here's a nice bid of TTPH. We're coming up to 1097. $11 psychological resistance. Watching WGBS for a member here. Let me just cover that one really quick. 177 is the low of the day, which is, I believe, the middle Bollinger Band support for WGBS. Or the 50-day moving average is what we're watching. That's down to 170 now. That's the must hold. Upper Bollinger Band resistance is 194. TTPH need to be looking at a couple different time frames here. Here is the $11 break, looking bullish here, seeing some nice follow through. SPY is flirting right around that 20 period moving average. I'll come back to check that in a second. Nice big bid on TTPH 11. We're going to see some more upside here. Looking like TTPH is the winner this morning. So I'm not seeing any resistance on any time frames. It's really just as high as the bulls are going to take it. I guess our next target is 1150 psychological resistance. Let's check back in to see where SPY closed that candlestick. TTPH looking great. So here's SPY back testing the support 20 period of 196.27. If we can get a new high on the day, it'll be a great sign that it held that back test and kept moving up. And we got the high back here of 196.80 that we are looking to break above. TTPH ideal situation would be $11 holding as support. After that, it's down to 1074, so definitely want to see 11 hold. We're going to test it right here. So SPY is looking fairly close to turning this around bullish. So find your favorite stock, see if it is following SPY's action, and get ready to get in bullish. There's GoPro breaking some key $35 support. TTPH, nice hold of $11 on that pullback. PCLN at the moment is holding 1300 support. TTPH 1138 high. That is obviously the resistance we're looking to break. GoPro is oversold. RSI is under 20. Came down and hit 3482. Looking at the daily chart for GoPro where we can find some support and multiple other time frames. Let's see what the 60-minute is showing us. Support's way down at 34.19. We got support right here on the 30-minute chart, the 100 period, 34.92. And the same on the 15-minute chart, 34.80. So looking like we're going to find some support here. And combined with the oversold RSI on the 5-minute, this might be a nice bounce level. We also have the 10-day moving average support of 34.78. So we got three different time frames all aligning with some support here. Could be nice and set a tight stop loss. But GoPro might find some bounce here with 3 time frames of support lining up. Netflix, we got $100 psychological support. It's about to be oversold as well. TTPH coming up to its high. We got 200 period on the hourly chart for Netflix, 180 support. Already below the 30-minute support. And we got the 200 period support on the 15-minute chart at 195. So these stocks are testing their support. TTPH is heading up to 1150. SPY is going up towards its high of day, and we have Netflix continuing to drop. So some stocks here are not following SPY. GoPro is not as well. We have the low on this candlestick of 34.82. Just broke it. RSI is now under 17. So we'll see if 34.80 can hold here. Netflix and GoPro pretty similar, finding support on multiple time frames and trying to turn it around. SVXY, you might as well be watching SPY because it trades completely based on the, is it the inverse? Looks like it's not the inverse, so it's trading, it's bouncing with SPY. You might as well just watch SPY and trade it based off of that. It's the short-term futures ETF for the VIX. We did have a bounce off the 10-day moving average on the daily chart, 50.92, currently above the middle Bollinger Band resistance of 51.98. Not overbought yet. We had a high back here pre-market of 53.94. So that's the next target to look at, 53.94. GoPro back above 35, finding a nice bounce off these supports. Netflix as well. Thanks for the reminder, John. So we got GoPro and Netflix bouncing off the support we just pointed out on multiple time frames. So we'll see if they're able to confirm these bullish reversals on the 5-minute chart and keep going up. Not a bad risk to reward play here, as we have SPY setting a new high of day to enter bullish and set your stop loss with a break of the low of the day. Netflix is continuing to look great, up $1 from its bounce right there. GoPro is up 30 cents from that bounce. TTPH still looking good. Thank you, John. Let's check in with Shop. 37.95 was resistance. WGBS is not looking good. Key support is 170, which it looks like it's about to break. That's a 50-day moving average on the daily chart and a must-hold level. Might be time to cut losses if we drop below 170 here. WGBS was definitely a trap yesterday. Not sure if news came out or what, but definitely a big run up, and then the bears controlled the entire rest of the day. Support after 170 is 159. That's the problem with stocks under $2. They can easily be manipulated. So Shop here, we're waiting for the RSI to get up a little bit here. Want to see the 20-period moving average support fail. We're going to be watching for weakness. So really nice bounce for Netflix here, trying to break over 102. High of day for Sunni. 1155 is a resistance level we were watching there. On the 5-minute chart, we have 20-period moving average resistance of 1137. Lots of resistance to break through for Sunni to look bullish. TTPH potentially 11:10. We came down and saw 11, just above 11 on the pullback. So 11 holding was a good sign. So we're watching these plays. GoPro's coming down to test its low of day again. Looking like we might get a new low of day here for GoPro. Big bid there is trying to hold. Sunni up to 1140. Trying to turn the 20 period moving average into support. So GoPro just held its double bottom low of 34.80. We'll see if that's going to stick. Nice lower wicks on that double bottom. FCX low is 1115. We'll see if that can hold. You can see it's having some trouble with the 20 period moving average resistance on the 5-minute time frame. Netflix now looking really nice off that low bounce, finding support over 102. 10-day moving average support for FCX is 1111. So we'll see if 1115 holds here. We have decreasing volume on this pullback, but you want the 20 period 1133 as support. GoPro coming down to test 3480 again. Netflix target on this bounce is the high of the day, 102.80. We'll be watching volume here. Would love to see an increase. That would be bullish, but the fact that the 20 period is back as support and we are back above this line I drew a long time ago as support is a good sign. Coming back down to test 102 here. GoPro just lost support and saw a big dump, so getting even more oversold. Hopefully you had your stops if you were trying to get into GoPro just below the low of the day break, so it wasn't a big loss. And now with that, we are looking at support down at 33.53. So not a whole lot of GoPro support. That's on the daily chart. Let's see what other time frames have here. 34.19 on the 60-minute. Trying to maintain 34.91 on the 30-minute. And trying to maintain 34.81 on the 15-minute. Check back in with SPY. Held the 20 period moving average support for 2 candlesticks and now battling to maintain it. 196.25 is the key level to close above here on this candlestick with 2 minutes left to go. So Shop saw a nice dollar pullback from 37.47, which is a lower high. I missed the ideal entry for that short. 20 period support is 35.64. TTPH looking good. Might see a little consolidation with the RSI. Low of 1121 on both of the previous 5-minute candlesticks, so 1121 is support. So SUNY is hitting the 20 period moving average resistance and pulling back. I think a little bit more downside is coming for SUNY, especially with SPY now down below the 20 period moving average support. So that is now resistance, and it looks like we're going to come down and test 195.25 for SPY. So still a lower high in this pattern here, continuing from pre-market. Couldn't break above 196.80. And we'll see if we can get a double bottom here at 195.25 or if there's going to be more downside. Expecting SUNY to come down and test its low of day. We'll see if GoPro can hold this 34.64 low. Resistance now for SPY is 196.20. Watching shop here, pretty wide bid and ask. If it comes up to 37 again, over 37, it doesn't set a new high of day, I'll be liking shop a little bit better for a short. GoPro testing the low of the day here, 34.64. I don't see any trading in shop right now. So GoPro did just hold its low. We'll see if that is able to maintain. 196.21 for SPY is resistance. And SUNY resistance is 11.34. But these lower wicks are showing that the bulls are buying some dips. It's all about this 20 period. We'll see if it's able to turn it into support or not. Lulu needs to maintain this 100 period moving average support, 53.97. Let's call it 54. If it can turn 54 into support, it'll be a good sign. I'm looking at the daily chart now. A close over 54 would be a good sign today. The low yesterday was 53.18. The low today was 53.18. So that's a nice double bottom there. Close over 54 will be a good sign for Lulu. SUNY is testing the 20 period moving average resistance. GoPro broke its low, set a new low. GoPro RSI is still oversold, and we still are in a pattern of lower lows, so watching for higher low pattern to develop. UGAZ is below $8, so that is not a good sign. $8 is resistance. We also have the 20 period moving average resistance of 7.85. Looking at the UGAZ daily chart. And there is no support to be found. Looking at the weekly chart. No support to be found. Definitely bearish for UGAZ. So SPY just back tested the resistance, hasn't turned it into support yet. We had a bullish reversal doji on GoPro, and we're seeing a little bit of confirmation here. A long way until this candle is locked in, but so far so good. Resistance is 35.47. Fit is getting a little overextended. Nice back test of the 100 period moving average support, 39.79, and seeing some resistance at 40.25, the triple top right there. Looking at the daily chart. Come on, daily chart. We have the upper Bollinger Band at 40.16. So that might be where we're finding some of this resistance. Or the upper BB is actually 40.40. High of the day yesterday was 40.90. Going to be watching here. If it keeps getting rejected by 40.25, we would expect it to come down to 39.79. So there's a break of 40.25 for Fit, so still some more upside to come there. Facebook key resistance is 93.75, the 200 period, and support is the 20 period at 93.50. Watch those two levels. TTPH did break high a day. Thank you. We have 1150 psychological resistance, but no other resistance in sight. TTPH is a awesome winner for the room. Day after day. Bullish uptrend bounce. GoPro back over 35, so looking nice on that bullish reversal candlestick. Sunni watching this upper wick here, watching where this candlestick closes compared to the 20 period moving average resistance, which is now support. That level is 1133. TTPH RSI is getting a little overbought, so you don't want to be entering here, that's for sure. GoPro continuing. We have resistance at 35.47. Nice bullish reversal confirmation so far with 2.5 minutes left in this candlestick. And Netflix continuing up as well. Nice bounce there. Set a new high of day. Resistance is 103.39 for Netflix, and the 20 period moving average support is 101.81. Should see a little increase in volume here, bullish. SPY is still playing around this 20 period moving average resistance or support, currently back above it. That level is 196.20 to watch. Nice bid on TTPH, looking like a new high of day is coming. Let's check out volume comparatively. We're a half hour into the day here. Yesterday's volume was 3 million. So already more than a sixth of that in the first half an hour. Volume is looking good for a potential increase. That bid just was erased, so we'll see if we're able to form a new high of day here or if we're getting a pullback. GoPro continuing up to that target, 35.47. And Netflix continuing to hit its target as well. Nice increase in volume for Netflix on these two candlesticks. 103.39. SPY is now back below the 20 period resistance. Looking at TTPH for potential short. I wouldn't fight this uptrend. We're looking at support here of 11.21. That was a triple bottom here on these 3 5-minute candlesticks. So 1121 is the key to hold for TTPH. Twitter, looking good here. Bullish since the morning. We held 27 support. That was the level pointed out last night. That is a bullish bounce. Might have broken it by a penny or so. Let's see here. We had the low 2 days ago of 27, the low yesterday of 27.03, and the low today of 26.99. So some strong support there. Middle Bollinger Band support on the daily is 26.95. 10-day moving average resistance is 27.43. Just broke that. Key is to turn this 200 period into support. We'll look for a back test. 27.45 needs to hold as support to continue this uptrend. RSI is at 72, so might need a little cooling off. 27.45 support and 27.36 support on the 5-minute chart. A break of 28 for Twitter would be very bullish. Watching 1121 here for TTPH, 1121 support. Twitter here, 27.45 is the support. We're watching for a back test. If this candle closes below 27.45, it will be resistance. But Twitter's looking really good, holding that triple bottom $27 here. Keep your eye on Twitter. Let's see what volume's looking like. Twitter total volume yesterday was 13 million. Today just over 1 million, so nothing standing out too blatantly there. Tight range here for SPY as we're 196.17 is the key level to watch. Need to turn that 20 period into support. Coming down here on TTPH, 1121 is the key level we are watching. Sunni. Let's see what the 20 period moving average resistance or support is there. Currently support 20 period moving average of 1133. Right at that level, we have big resistance at 1146 and 1149. But a nice higher low period forming. A lot of indecision with upper wicks and lower wicks. SPY is now back over the key level we are watching to turn into support, the 20 period. A break of 196.36 will be a bullish higher high. 1125 is the bid on TTPH. Watching 1121. Shop is coming down a little bit. Would like to see it get back at 37 and show weakness for a potential short opportunity. GoPro pulling back now. Netflix looking good. High of day. Watching that target of the 100 period moving average resistance, which is dropping down. That level is now 103.35. Netflix has been a very nice trader the past 4 days. Ray will tell you that. So watching now for GoPro to hold a higher low over the 34.60 that the low was set this morning. TTPH, we'll see if 1121 holds. That was strong support earlier. 1110 after 1121. But I'm not sure if 1121 is going to fail as support. Twitter extremely bullish break here on big volume. We do have $28 resistance. Watch that level. A break through that would be a great sign. Thanks for pointing that out, Sarah. Twitter holding $27 was a really bullish sign, and it is seeing that follow through. RSI is oversold here, so if we hit 28 here for Twitter with the RSI over 80, it might be a nice short opportunity as it's getting a little overextended to the upside. If you're in this trade, might protect some profits up at that level as well. RSI is at 82. SPY now, a nice break above that support. A little bit more convincing here. Watching Twitter on the $28 resistance level. Nice job, Zach. GoPro did form a higher low. We need to see a higher high now. 35.25, but we have resistance at 35.40, the 20 period, which has knocked it down all pre-market. So not sure if this is a safe time to enter GoPro. SPY coming up on the high of day. Going to recover some of these losses here, it appears. Want to see a break of 196.72 and ideally a break of 196.80. Let's check out Twitter again. 27.87, the RSI is at 83. $0.10 shy of a high a day here for SPY. Sunni, a nice bullish break. Going to hit resistance here of the 100 and 200 period on the 5-minute. Sunni is following SPY. We have resistance at 11.46 and 11.49. Sunni's going to disregard these resistances if SPY keeps going up. Yeah, for some reason the chickens are congregating outside my window today. But it's Friday, so I'll let it slide. New high of day here for Sunni. Resistance is 11.49. And it's following SPY's new high of day, so watch SPY to play Sunni. We'll see if Sunni pulls back. Ideal entry would be on the 20 period moving average support of 11.33. And we'll see if it's able to hold these key 100 and 200 period resistances here. So TTPH, nice hold of 11.21, didn't break that level. We found a low of 11.23, so a higher low. And now seeing a little bit of bullish upside. Want to see a 196.80 break on SPY. GoPro, very nice bounce. 34.80 was just a little bit too soon. Resistance is 35.41. We'll see if it's able to get above that. After 35.41, next resistance is the high of the day, 35.89. 35.38 is now the resistance level to watch. So there's your bearish reversal candlestick on Twitter. Looking for follow through and confirmation. SPY set a new high of day over 196.82. So seeing that nice bounce we expected. Slow and steady climb for TTPH. We'll be back to Netflix in a second. LNCO above all moving average resistance on the 5-minute. Looking at the daily chart. Daily charts are taking a little longer to load than usual today. So currently negating the bearish reversal that formed yesterday. 308 is the high of the day yesterday and resistance. After that, 318. 318 and 19. Netflix hit the 100 period moving average resistance of 103.30. We'll see if we can bust through that or if we're going to consolidate and pull back. 20 period moving average support is all the way down at 102. Sunni struggling at those resistance levels pointed out. And SPY looking to set a new high of day. Here's confirmation of that bearish reversal. 2.5 minutes to go, so the bulls are fighting to negate it, which they currently are. We'll see where this candlestick locks in here. Low of 27.71 on these both candlesticks, so a break of 27.71 will be bearish. Here comes Sunni following SPY up. SPY is going to test 197. So stocks are following SPY up now. Nice opportunity for bullish entry on stocks this morning. We'll see if GoPro holds this resistance, the 20 period. That would be bullish. SPY now looking really nice with higher lows and higher highs. Resistance of 197.79. Looks like on the day it's very early, but SPY could see a nice bounce, gap down and bounce off the middle Bollinger Band support here today. That move pre-market was very overextended. Not saying the whole day is going to be bullish for SPY here, but we obviously see that we're going to have a bullish morning. Might get rejected at some key resistance on SPY, the 100 period, 197.79. If we get rejected there, it's entirely possible that we drop back and go bearish for the afternoon. But it'll all depend on where we see the higher highs or higher lows and how those play out, those patterns. GoPro, very nice bounce. Still has a lot of work to do for the 5-minute chart to go bullish though. Need to get up in the 36s. Lulu, a nice steady uptrend, nice consistent bullish volume. Essential to close over 54. Let's see where we got resistance on the daily chart. After the 54 mark, we are looking at where some of the previous days found their high of days that they could not break through. And we're looking at yesterday the high of 55.12, so looking like could see 55 on Lulu today. TTPH going up, trying to slow and steady make a new high of day. Check out that Twitter pullback. And there's the bearish reversal confirmation. Let's watch. Well, I don't want to speak too soon. 27.71 is the key level to break, and that is where we are at. 3 candlesticks now, with that being the low. So that might be support. If we see, watch this pattern of lower highs and flat lows. We're going to see if 27.71 breaks, or if we see a high break, a higher high would break the pattern. TTPH just unable to set a new high of day. So a lower high currently. 1129 is the 8-period exponential moving average, which held support on this little pullback here. So SUNY was rejected from these resistances as SPY is pulling back a bit. Support for SUNY is 1133. So SPY support is 196.23. SUNY coming up on 1133 support. So there was Twitter breaking the 2771 level. Support is down at 2745. Watching volume here, an increase in bearish volume would obviously be a bearish sign. As SPY continues to consolidate and looking like it's going to come down to that 20-period moving average. Shop was a nice short opportunity up at the 37.47 mark, down $2. I had it on my watch list. Too much going on this morning, missed the ideal entry. There's TTPH hitting the psychological 1150 resistance and a new high of day. I appreciate John bringing Shop back to my attention, but too late for me to point it out to members, unfortunately. Did have it right on the watch list, though. That's at least a good sign. Good practice. There's a break, and TTPH is strong. 1121, strong support. Came back, set a higher low of 1123, and now a higher high. And I don't see anything until $12. Psychological resistance. Let me make sure on all my time frames here. Gotta love very overextended gap downs that have a nice big multi-day bounce run. Just an ATM. TTPH has been an ATM for the chat room for about 3 or 4 days now. And I just don't see any resistance. So it's literally, as long as the bulls will buy up on this bounce, it's going to keep going up. Not saying to enter now as the RSI is above 70. Actually, that's a very big 1155 bid. Watch how that reacts there. We might be up into the 1170s off of that. Or if it gets erased, that is going to mean some pullback is coming. And it just got erased. So that was a lot of profit taking right there. Still looking fine though. Slow and steady uptrend today. So we have stocks consolidating now with SPY, and we'll see if SPY can find its support and set a new high of day. That would obviously be more bullish continuation, confirmation. When I get to making the gap video, I will certainly put this in there, but my mentor had a saying that gap downs are for buying and gap ups are for selling. And that's because of the tendency that stocks have to fill gaps eventually. So SPY hit the 10-day moving average resistance of 196.82 and is pulling back, and the middle Bollinger Band support is 195.81. So it's entirely possible we bounce around with in between these two ranges today without a whole lot of volatility. But if we do break out and make a new high of day for SPY, there's a whole lot of room to fill the gap all the way up until 199.28. Nice recovery for TTPH here, back over 1150. WGBS is holding the 50-day moving average support of 170. Not a whole lot of action there. Volume is minimal comparatively. There's Twitter's nice short opportunity. I appreciate members bringing it to the board's attention, especially new members. Sarah, really appreciate that. So we have 28 is still strong resistance, 27 is nice strong support, and we got overextended here. The RSI was up at 80 as we approached resistance, and that was the sign when we saw the break of this double bottom of 27.71. We dropped down to 27.59. Very bullish day for Amazon. Holding 530 support and going back over 540 resistance. RSI is a little overextended. Let's look at the daily chart, as the close over 540 was a very bullish one. Wow, it actually did not close over 540 yesterday, so that shows you how strong that resistance is. We'll see if it's able to do it today. SPY heading back up. That's a nice higher low, as we have TTPH making its way up through the 1150s. Nice hold of the 8-period exponential moving average for SPY so far. We'll see if it's able to make a new high. Soon he's coming back to test those key resistances. 100 and 200 period on the 5-minute. 1147 and 1149 are Sunni resistances. Baba key support here is 65.21, the 20 period, seeing a lot of resistance with these upper wicks. 100 period moving average resistance is 65.74. Here's a high a day test for TTPH. Need that bid to climb up here. And that's exactly what it just did, so we'll see if we get a break. Shop was a really nice short opportunity today. Dropped $3 from the high. UA might be giving itself another short opportunity here. I don't like that strong 200 period moving average support on 5 minute. Here's TTPH, another attempt at the high of day. Looks like it's about to break. Starbucks daily chart, key support of the 50-day moving average 56.03, resistance is 58. So there's a bullish break for UA. Want to look at the daily chart for it. TTPH, there's the break. Let's see if it gets a new high of day. 1160 is a little bit tough resistance here as I'm watching it. $105.23 is UA resistance, the upper Bollinger Band. So it broke 1160 TTPH but was unable to set a new high, and then it just dropped significantly. So 1160 is our new resistance target. SPY looking very bullish. Nice break, higher high. Gotta love when things play out as anticipated. Resistance 197.72. Nice increase in bull volume. AA resistance of 992, support of 987. Looking at the daily chart, we know $10 is going to be some big psychological resistance. Support of the low of the day yesterday 975, today 976, so that's a good sign. Holding that low and working on a close above $10. A really bullish UA chart would be if it gets rejected from the 992 resistance, support found at 987, and then a break of 992 to go to $10 would be very bullish for AA. Keep your eye out for that. So TTPH pulling back from 1160, a double top there. We've got support at 1142, testing that right now. And after that, we're looking at 1123. Sunni is not seeing the spike that SPY did, and that is because we got the 100 and 200 period resistance there on the 5-minute chart, keeping it at bay. So there was the break of 1142 support of TTPH. 1123 is now the target. We want to form a higher low. Potentially 1125 would be a nice low. Looks like Apple and Facebook are following SPY up. Resistance 114.40 is key for Apple. Pulled back twice from it. Support is 113.56. These stocks are providing really nice opportunity for bullish gains here. Facebook looking great above all moving average resistance on the 5-minute chart. And the play this morning was to shop bullish. SUNY testing those resistance levels again. Looking for TTPH to hold 1123, 1147, and 1148 SUNY resistance. TTPH still looks fine as long as 1123 holds, and ideally 1121. Netflix seems to be finding its range for today, trading within it. Rejected from 100 period, looking for a bounce off the 20 period support of 102.13. So you see a stock like Netflix getting corralled by its 100 period moving average resistance, and a stock like Facebook, although it just formed a bearish reversal candlestick and is confirming it, support is 93.96, but has all the moving averages as support, so it can move much more freely than Netflix can. Tesla getting rejected from the 100 period twice now. Same thing as Netflix. So if you want to play bullish, you might as well find a stock that doesn't have these resistances that keep getting rejected. Google here rejected by its 100 period. Etsy having a really bullish 2 days put together here. I've had my eye on it but missed that break yesterday. So SPY pulling back fairly considerably now. $196.28 is support. The previous low, $196.42. Want to see a higher low than $196.42. Keep your eye on eyes here. It's at $10 right now. Looking for a close above $10, although upper Bollinger Band resistance is 10.21. TTPH is still holding all its support, looking fine. Potential entry if you think 1160 is going to break. Oh, I take that back. I didn't see TTPH dropped very quickly all the way down to 1116, so it did set a lower low. 20 period moving average support is 1111. But being able to recover and hold these supports with this candlestick closing in 1 minute would be bullish. So Netflix, a bullish reversal candlestick doji forming off the 20 period moving average support. Watch for confirmation of that. Don't have it right now. And TTPH is going to come down to $11, it appears. Although we do have 1111 support. We'll see how it reacts to that. It's actually now 1113 support. Twitter consolidating, decreasing volume, looking for a bullish move up if this low of 27.59 can hold. Lulu's support is 53.80. And GoPro's coming down to test its low of day, it appears. So rejected by the 20 period moving average resistance again, as it has been all morning. Need to form a higher low compared to 34.60 and then break through the 20 period resistance and set a higher high over 35.50. Seeing some potential bullish confirmation here on Netflix. Good entry for Amazon would be potentially this 100 period moving average support of 537.88, but if it does not close above 540, it is bearish. Not bearish, but just not bullish. 540 is strong resistance and has knocked it down many times. Need to see a close above 540. Watching TTPH to see if 11, 12, 20 period moving average can hold. If not, we're coming down to $11. The spike in red volume here with the lower wick shows a little bit of bulls buying. So not a necessarily bearish sign that this spike in volume did happen. Thank you, Zen. That looks like a nice target as well, along with $11 psychological support. So I'm going to sign off here in a minute and continuing following in the chat room after a 5-minute step away. GoPro trying to set that higher low. Let's see if Netflix was able to confirm that bullish reversal candlestick. It's trying to. It had a low of 102.01 and a low of 101.98. So we're looking at 102 support, a high of 102.45 on both candlesticks. So that is resistance. A break of 102.45 should signal a little bit more upside, potentially a test back of 103.17 resistance. And there is the break of it on increased bullish volume. Alright, thanks for everybody for being here this Friday morning. I'm unplugging the mic. I'll leave it up. I'll keep talking to you in the chat room. And we're going to watch SPY. Let's check one last time for SPY. We want to see some more bullish continuation after some consolidation here. So the previous low is 196.42. As long as we find a higher low above that, we'll still be in a very nice bullish uptrend. So a good start for the day on the bulls, despite all the gain or all the losses found in pre-market. But slowly working our way back. We'll see how we end up. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon.